why you shouldn't start a cleaning business. So in this channel, as you know, I talk about all the positives about running a cleaning business. I think it is a fantastic industry to be involved with, but it certainly isn't an industry that is right for everyone. And in this video, I'm going to take you through 3 reasons that you shouldn't start a cleaning business. And if you show any of these traits, you really want to think twice before getting started. So let's jump straight into it. So first of all, cleaning is not a sexy industry. If it is really important for you to tell your friends and family about this incredible high growth, high paced technology startup that you're growing, starting a cleaning business is probably not going to cut it. It's certainly not as fast paced as the crypto space or running a software business or building the next social network. It is what many people would call a boring business. But I think boring businesses are fantastic. And the cleaning industry in particular is a boring business, but there is a consistent level of demand. The demand has been there for many, many years. The demand is pretty stable during economic upturns and economic downturns. The industry will always be here. And that is why I think, these boring type businesses are fantastic. But as I said, if for you, running one of these sexier, higher paced startups is really important, then you really want to think twice about that. My background, I used to work in venture capital, and when I was telling friends and family that I was leaving that well-paid job to start up a cleaning business, I got lots and lots of puzzled looks. Lots of people couldn't understand why I'd leave such an interesting job and replace it with cleaning company. I didn't care because I knew that the dynamics of the industry were fantastic. How other people view what you're doing is really important, then you really want to think twice about running a cleaning business. Item 2 is then people management. Ultimately, running a cleaning business is about managing cleaners on one side, your cleaning staff on one side, and managing clients on the other. And the better you are at doing both, the quicker you'll grow, the more profitable you'll be. It is one of the great challenges of growing a successful cleaning business is how do you continue to manage both of those groups at scale. Maybe you can be a great manager of your cleaning staff when you've got 5 cleaners, but what happens when you've got 50 cleaners and maybe you've got supervisors and other people involved? How loyal and how loved do your cleaners feel in that larger organization? Because what you find is that the de facto situation for most cleaners in this industry is that they don't tend to get very well paid, they don't tend to get very well looked after, their employers or business owners don't tend to treat them very well. So there's a real opportunity here, if you like people management and that is one of your skills, to really grow a great community, a great loyal workforce, because ultimately, people that feel valued at work will do a better job for you, they will stay for longer, and they will refer similar minded friends and family to your business. All these things will help to feed higher, more profitable growth as well. So in our business, some of the things that we do are, monthly catch-ups with our cleaners. We have a time every month where we just block out some time just to give them a call, see how things are. We'll obviously talk about works, their clients, but also find out, how things are going in their personal life and things like that. Because often what you find is that, you may have a fantastic cleaner that is doing a great job and then suddenly their work tanks. And you find out later on that there's been some blow up in their personal life that has contributed to that. So showing interest and spending time with your cleaners is a really, really important part of growing and managing a cleaning company. On the other side, we also have to deal with clients. There are lots of different client types. There are those clients that we absolutely love, clients that always pay us, they tip us well, they treat our cleaners well, everything's fantastic, they're referring their friends and family to us. If only every single client that we had on our books was like that. But as you know, there is a long raft. And when we start getting towards the higher maintenance clients, those clients that never seem to be happy, they're always emailing you, always calling you with something that was missed or something that they need adding next time, those clients present more of a challenge. And when we layer that on with client complaints and things like that, it is very easy to get bogged down with managing those client types and managing with complaints and things like that. And this is another part of the challenge of managing, people, is that you need, when you come across these clients, you need to deal with them in a way, firstly, in a way that works for your business. You may find that those clients are just not worth serving, and in which case you need to phase those clients out of your business. If that's the case, that's an important skill to have. If you decide that you want to keep running with these clients, maybe you're dealing with some complaints, but you want to make that client happy and make sure that they stay with you, then you need to have some skills around dealing with complaints, understanding where the client is coming from, following up with the cleaner to get their side, offering a resolution, to make sure that everyone is happy to continue going forward. Because if a client complains, for example, and you say, "Oh, I completely disagree with that," they'll cancel. Or if you don't really listen to what they've got to say, maybe they'll leave a 1-star review on Google. Or maybe you listen to the client and then you tell your cleaner you've got to do X, Y, and Z, and you don't listen to the cleaner. In that case, you're failing at the cleaner people management side, and your cleaner will get unhappy. They might leave. Maybe their work quality drops across the clients that they work for. So people management is a hugely important part of this business. We talk a lot about technology and software on my channel, and how we can make things more efficient and use technology to automate processes and things like that. But ultimately, growing a successful cleaning business does come down to how good you are at managing people, both on the cleaner and the client side. So if this is something that you hate the idea about doing, or you don't think that is one of your skills or something that you want to invest in, then you really want to think twice before setting up a cleaning business. Third of all is that you need to be a numbers person. What do I mean by this? So to be completely honest, whether you are running a cleaning business or any other type of business, if you are comfortable with numbers, with tracking numbers, you have a great chance of making a good success of starting and growing your business. So some of the numbers that would be important would obviously be your top level numbers, tracking your monthly revenue, your monthly profit, even your weekly revenue and weekly profits. So many businesses, particularly those early on, when they ask them that question, what's your monthly revenue last month? They'll have to say, I'll need to double check, or they bring up their software on their screen. If that number is not to hand, that is not good enough. You need to know your numbers inside out, because ultimately we're running this business to make profit. There are obviously different benefits as well, but profit is a big part of that. If we don't know where our numbers are going, we don't know, we can't optimize for profit. So knowing your numbers is so important. Those revenue and profit numbers are really important. You want to be tracking those religiously, but there's a whole host of other KPIs or key performance indicators that are as important that you need to be tracking. For me in my business, I think one of the most important KPIs is the recurring client numbers in our business. So we will obviously every single week we're adding new recurring clients. These will be your weeklies, your bi-weekly clients. But then on the other side, unfortunately, clients will also cancel, and maybe they are moving out of town, or maybe for budgetary reasons they've had to cancel. So we need to net those figures out, and we need to see and make sure that our recurring revenues, our recurring client numbers, are continuing to grow with time. And the reason I like the recurring client number rather than the recurring revenue number is that the recurring client number is what I would define as a leading indicator. So if you onboard a weekly client today, you're not really going to see the full revenue benefit until the next month, once they've had, if they're a weekly client, say 4 cleans in the next month. This month they'll only get whatever's remaining. So the recurring client numbers give us a leading indicator. It allows us to look forward, whereas the revenue tends to be a bit more of a lagging indicator. It's the result of all the things, all the actions, all the clients that we won and lost. So if we can see that our recurring client numbers are changing, we can make any changes. We can change things up before we see the full revenue impact. So knowing your numbers is really, really important. I No doubt there are business owners out there that aren't particularly strong with numbers and that they can manage to grow and grow a decent sized business and make some decent profit. But I would say it is absolutely the exception. I would say 99% of the business owners I speak to and I work with, who are doing, north of 500,000 in revenue every year, either have the ability and the skills, from previous jobs to be comfortable with numbers, or they've learned to manage it and understand those key numbers in their business as they've grown. I think it's super, super important. So if numbers and tracking numbers and Excel spreadsheets and all those sorts of things are things that you really, really dislike, you really don't understand, you really don't want to spend any time with that would be the third reason to really think twice before setting up a cleaning business. So I hope this video has been helpful. Please click the subscribe button if it has done. It really, really helps me. As I said, I think this industry is a great one to be involved with. If you are interested in taking the next step and setting up and growing a cleaning business, have a look at this next video where I talk about how to start a cleaning business from scratch. It will give you a great blueprint, a great foundation about the key steps to take next. So I will see you on the next one.